Hey, welcome to episode 10 of the Cattle Drive Live. We are live here, as we've said, at the 2022 Cattlemen's Congress, Corey.
Yes, we are. I'm pretty pumped up, man.
I am too. You know, 10 weeks ago when we fired this thing up, or 11 now.
Yeah.
This was always a dream of mine and yours, to do something like this, Sports Center type show, and to be right here at the Cattlemen's Congress. I don't know, it's a little chill up my neck here.
It really is. To sit, we're actually in the balcony at the pavilion in Oklahoma City at the Cattlemen's Congress, overlooking actually they're finishing up the Shorthorn Bull show here. John DeClerc is out there getting ready. He's talking the bulls for the champion drive. Just really awesome.
Oh, I tell you what, and you know, you just had to be here for just a minute this week to realize just how big this week really is.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, from a seed stock standpoint, I don't care what breed of cattle you are, the environment here is like none other.
Yep.
So
sales have been great. Shows have been huge. The industry's strong, and this show shows it.
Yeah, it's without a doubt. This is something. I think tomorrow's anticipation. This Supreme Drive deal that they started here, when you get to bring these champions back from a junior standpoint, it's cool.
Yep.
But when you mix in the open shows and that Supreme Bull title that they'll pick here tomorrow night,
it's a Super Bowl.
It's like none other.
It's Super Bowl of the cattle industry. When you put the best bulls and females in every breed out in that big show ring, it's as cool of a deal as you'll ever see in the cattle industry.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. You know, and we'll have a chance to have Tyler on in a minute and visit with him. But, you know, last year was unique just because of the number of cattle, the number of entries.
Yep.
I wondered this year what would happen. Shoot, it's bigger.
They loaded the trailers and they loaded them full.
Oh, I mean to tell you. Yeah, there is no doubt. So, but you know what I think I learned this week that separates Cattlemen's Congress, for me anyway, these guys have a great crew.
Yep.
But you know what they have that other people don't?
What's that?
Support at the top.
Yep.
They have the support of the state government like none I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
So, but I don't know. It was neat. Early in the week, just walking through the aisles, I look up and here comes the governor himself of the state of Oklahoma walking through.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, he was just out walking through, checking things out with Tyler and the crew.
Yep.
Stopped, shook his hand for a minute, and one thing led to another, a telephone call, and I had the chance early in the week to sit down and visit with the governor of the state of Oklahoma.
We're going to get a chance.
And I think we're going to get a chance to play that. Is that right, Paige? I think she's going to Governor Stitt, thank you for being with us today. Brett Carter with Cattle Drive Live.
Absolutely, Brett. Great to be here.
Absolutely, it's an honor to have you on our show, and I got to ask you something.
Yes, sir.
So, 2020, the fall of 2020, phone call comes into the state of Oklahoma with Miss Blaine Arthur about the need of a national level show within this state for agriculture. And the story is that when it was approached to you, it was never a what, it was a how do we make this happen approach.
Absolutely. I mean, we love the agriculture industry. I mean, I was shocked at what other states were doing by dictating, mandating, shutting businesses down. So when we found out that cattle show was shut down and they couldn't have it in Colorado, we immediately went to work and putting the Cattlemen's Congress together and inviting them to Oklahoma. And it's just a tremendous success. We're here because they're coming back for the second year. We want them to be a tradition now, to be here every single year, and I think that's going to happen, and they can see the hospitality that we're showing, and it's great for Oklahoma, but the sale prices, the amount of vendors, it's just been a tremendous success.
Right. You know, I was fortunate enough to meet you the other day when you were here, just in passing in the aisle. Gerald and I were so impressed with you just from the standpoint of we both appreciate your leadership in the state and the trickle-down effect it's had. But you were the very first to say, hey, it was these guys, you pat Tyler on the back, and you're really appreciative of those guys. And it was kind of the down-to-earth mentality that drew us into you that day.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I mean, obviously, I can't do anything by myself. I've got to put the right team together. It's what I did in business. It's what I do as governor. And so obviously Blaine Arthur, the best Secretary of Ag in the country, appointed her when I first got elected. She's been amazing. Tyler Norris, Gerald Callahan, those guys that put this thing together, Jimmy Harold and Bob Funk, and all the leaders in the ag community in Oklahoma really just told me what to do. I made a few phone calls. I used some of the governor's closing fund, and we got this thing put together here in Oklahoma. We're going to continue to invest in this infrastructure to make sure that these exhibitors and this show is successful from now on for the next 100 years.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's been really cool, and I think there's a lot of people that don't understand that this ag deal for you isn't a show. And last night I was telling somebody how excited I was to be able to interview you here today, and they said, hey, listen to this story about this guy. He said it's not smoke. He said that, so tell me the story. You're at a WCRA event this past summer in Pawhuska, and you carried the colors.
That's right.
Late in the night, there's a team who's a man short in the calf branding. Governor Stitt rides in horseback, heals 2 calves to help out a team.
Yeah, you know, my granddad was from Skiatook, Oklahoma, was a dairy farmer. My other granddad was the vet at Oklahoma City Stockyards for 25 years. And so my dad has a small cow-calf operation as well. So my cousins are much better team ropers than myself, but it was fun entering that and roping some healing, some calves, and you drag them back out to your guy that's faking branding them, and it's kind of a team event. It's pretty fun.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's what they said. They said you wheeled in there and got the first one, the first try, and they were like, holy smokes, that's the governor, guys. So
it's fun.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to stop and visit with us real quick, and I'll tell you from Cattle Drive Live and the people within this barn, we appreciate you for what you allow these other guys to do.
Absolutely. Well, we're just excited that you're here, and we want to welcome everybody from around the country to come here to Oklahoma and just enjoy your stay here, and we'll see you back next year. We want to make this the most successful show in the country.
Absolutely.
So,
Governor, thank you. Video.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back. Corey and I have the pleasure to sit with Tyler Norris, Secretary of the Board of Directors here at the Cattlemen's Congress, and away from this, President of the Onward Foundation, which is a very big part of agriculture in state Oklahoma. Tyler, thanks for sitting with us.
You bet. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys covering it. It's been a good week.
It's been a great week. We just transitioned off of the governor there just a minute ago, and he is so electric, and he just draws you into him and makes you feel like he's somebody you could drink a cup of coffee with at the cafe. And
yeah, he's a normal guy. You know, and many may not know, but like when he ran for governor, he hadn't even voted in that last state elections. Like he had nothing to do, and he just said, our state's broken, I want to run. And he had enough money, nobody knew who he was. And guys like myself that kind of play the political game, like this guy has no chance. And then he wins. Because,
oh, really?
Because, you know, the Trump factor and everybody wanted somebody that had anything to do with politics. And here he is. And literally, used to, they'd beat you up for not voting in the last state elections. He's like, yeah, I didn't vote. No, I'm not a politician. They loved him more. So
the Trump factor, I really like that.
It was great.
We were just talking during the break there. You said his granddad was a vet at the Stockyards, Oklahoma City
for 30
Stockyards.
years, Doc Stitt. And then whenever he was on the campaign trail, even though he was from Tulsa, he'd talk about where he learned his work ethic from spending the summers with his other grandparents in Skiatook working on the dairy farm.
Oh, wow.
And he said, I've got a fond appreciation for agriculture.
He's got a root in agriculture.
And then his brother Keith showed some steers in Norman when they were growing up. Now the governor didn't. Now the governor's kids showed some pigs for a few years once he got elected.
Sure.
And that helped having the governor out here showing animals with his kids.
Exactly.
And they loved it. So it was a neat experience for him.
Oh, I told him the other day, I said, hey, listen, I voted for you. I'm telling you what, if that's the one right decision I know I've ever made, marrying my wife and voting for that guy. Because, I mean, he was awesome. But, hey, talk to us about this year's Cattlemen's Congress. You know, Corey and I visited early in the show about how big it was last year and what it meant to the business that we're in, the seed stock business in general. But this year, Corey said it best. Them guys packed their trailers and they filled them up.
That's right. So our entries were identical to last year, basically 10,000. But what showed up, I don't have the exact numbers because we're not done, but I can tell you on these early breeds, it's up. And so that's why, you know, some people said, man, these barns are fuller. You're right, they are, because more showed up.
Right.
And then the sales have been incredible. Bray just told me every sale has been up.
Yeah, we're going to have Ken Jakey on here in just a little bit with some numbers on them sales. But it's been a terrific week. Imagine 2023 still on track. Everything's full steam ahead.
Yeah. The dates will be very similar to next year. We're looking for more improvements that we can do and things we can make better and tweak the schedule. Because last year was just a fire drill, and this year we sit back and watch about, okay, this might work better, that might work better. So I don't think there'll be any huge changes, but there'll be small changes. And this week's been a struggle, as it is all over the country, finding workers just from the state fair's perspective for cleaning and moving things around. I mean, we've had some awesome interns I want to brag on that we got paid absolutely nothing to be here. We got worked to death. I mean, that day it was 24-degree high. They were out there in the parking lot helping people get in.
I seen them.
They're really the unsung heroes of this whole event. Is the unpaid interns from across the country
and good college students and. Good people.
They are, and they came from all over the country to be here, and that means a lot to us that they would come that far on their own dime to be here.
Exactly.
So
that's awesome.
I told them they all got life experience and grew as people this week. So.
I tell you what, y'all's saying of a new tradition. I think it's gonna be something that sticks around, Corey.
Yep. Boy, it sure seems that way.
Yeah, it's just good people, good livestock, and it's enjoyable. I know I like it because I'm hour from home.
It's funny. I told those interns the first round we have 2 sets, so we've had 40 total, 21st wave, 22nd. When the first one's left, I said I appreciate everything, and I said 50 years from now, when I'm dead and you're here, you can tell everybody I was the intern at the second one ever when we celebrate our 50th year.
Heck yeah!
And I think we will someday.
I do. I completely agree. Well, Tyler, thank you for taking time
for being here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tyler.
You bet. Good payday. What's going now? Just red. We're back again here at the 2022 Cattlemen's Congress. And Corey, look who we have with us.
Yep. First of all, we had the governor, your interview. We got Tyler Norris.
Yeah.
Now we have the.
Yeah. They say cream rises to the top. I'm telling you, in agriculture in the state of Oklahoma, we are very, very, very pleased to have Blaine Arthur with us, Secretary of Agriculture in the state of Oklahoma.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be on, and we're glad that everybody's here in Oklahoma City.
Oh man, it's great.
It's been a blast.
Hey, so tell me, tell the story real quick about the phone calls. You got blindsided with, hey, we're wanting to have Denver's canceling. We're wanting to come to Oklahoma. Tell the story you told me the other day. I just thought it's so awesome.
Sure. So, scrolling back in time when that kind of went out, and of course, everyone very quickly realizes that, okay, this isn't going to happen. So what is going to happen? So my phone starts ringing and they're saying, we're trying to find a location that can hold the event and folks that will make it happen. And I said, well, hold a second, because we're still in COVID dynamics and you've got to check with the facility. And I said, let me check with the governor first before I stand up and say, yes, we want to help do this. And certainly talked to Tyler. And so the great thing was talk to the governor and to his staff, and their very short response was, let's do it.
Awesome.
And I mean, that's think about that with all the dynamics that are going on. And it was just
especially in the world that we lived in that time period.
Right.
Yes.
Was that's pretty wild.
Well, and what I was taken back by, and I mentioned that to the governor, was whenever you went to them, she was going to them needing some money too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never really thought all this through, but she said, I was asking for some money for an event that I wasn't real sure anybody was going to show up. And I end up with egg on my face.
Yeah.
And it's like, she said immediately, Governor Stitt never crossed. He just said, let's do it. What we need to do.
Yes.
And showing up wasn't a problem.
No. And we made that big pitch, and we said, we think people will come show and we need this to make it happen. So, you're putting and telling a lot of people, and we had great support from the governor, but from the legislature here in Oklahoma, but you're telling some non-ag people how great this is going to be. But to your point, we're like, please enter.
Exactly.
Please enter your animals and come show with
Yeah.
us.
So,
And they did.
yeah, and it's turned into something that it's like none other, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got its own essence about it. But talk to us just briefly in terms of Secretary of Agriculture. What does that do? What is your day? I mean, it's not just livestock. I mean, I've seen you at some grain stuff. I mean, and I'm not even going to try to list them all. But what does the Secretary of Agriculture? What does your day look like?
Sure. Every day is a little bit different, but I am appointed by the governor, so technically work for the governor. I, on a day-to-day basis, run our agency, which is about 500 people. But to your point, that's everything from feed, seed, fertilizer. We have over 160 forest rangers that do wildfire suppression in the state.
Oh, wow.
So marketing of ag products. So it's a little bit different. Do a lot of when they list it, they'll say Chief Ag Policy Advisor to the governor and his team. So what we strive to do is make sure that any decision, certainly that the governor makes or that we collaborate with the legislature on, that it's good for farmers and ranchers here in Oklahoma. That's our ultimate goal, and good today, but also 5-10 years down the road too.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's obvious. I mean, I get a kind of inside track with our relationship. Just being in Oklahoma, our kids are relatively the same age, and to me, she's more than just Secretary of Ag. I mean, you're a mom, and you're a great mom. You've got 2 great kids, and your husband. They're involved in this business. I know that's probably a little weird dynamic for you too. But that's how I know you. I was laughing earlier. I did an interview with Transova, Corey, and I called Sarah Sarah Faber.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like she's always been Sarah Faber to me. And you, before you were ever, before you were ever a secretary, you were like, I know you had a different
show together.
But that just brings back what Governor Stitt's done. He said, I put good people around me, but he just put good, honest people around him. And I know you're not just every day, but to us, you're Blaine Arthur.
Well, and that's really the unique dynamic that we're so lucky to have right now in Oklahoma is I always say the governor is the least political politician I've ever been around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is
exactly.
great.
Yeah.
Because he'll just say, well, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
What's the right thing to do? What's the best thing to do?
Common sense.
And that's not always the case. And for me to have the opportunity to do this job, I really just consider myself to be an ag kid from Grady County.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've gotten some really great opportunities.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's good.
You hit on the Arthur kids there, Brett. They've had a good week this week.
They
Today
Credit.
they had reserve Shorthorn heifer,
Yes.
and Kelton had Champion Charlet.
Yes, but credit to my husband. That he gets all the credit for
But
that.
still,
deal,
they're your
so,
kids,
but
and they do a nice job.
We're
You
very
bet.
proud of them. Thank
Absolutely.
you, and very fortunate. When there were times when we thought that there weren't going to be shows, I think that made all of us as parents say this is a priority for our families because. And you've heard tons of people say this, we say we're raising livestock, but we're really raising our kids.
Oh,
just like
100%.
My son getting to hang out with your kids. That's the real benefit of this entire deal is we're making better people.
So on the way home last night, I visited with my kids, Grady and Hudson, about today. Mm-hmm. And I told them, they asked who was be on. And I told them, and it was just so funny when I said that we were going to have Blaine on. Grady said, oh, that's Kelton's mom. It was just kind of like, it was no big deal. I'm thinking, shoot, that's Secretary of Ag. But that's right. It is.
And I'd way rather
Kelton's
it be
mom.
that way.
I know.
To them, that's just that you're just show mom.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
like all the other show moms.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
good.
Fun.
It's good. Blaine, I can't thank you enough for what you do in the state of Oklahoma, but I can't thank you enough for what you did to get this thing started. It's awesome.
Well, big team effort, and we're just so glad that people certainly came last year, and then even more folks have come this year, and we look forward to good things to come in the future.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, Corey, let's take a break here real quick and listen to CCI Live. They've been an integral part of what we do here at the Cattle Drive Live, and just go real quick to a video and learn something about CCI.
Sounds great.
We've now done 2 auctions with CCI. First time we've ever participated with them was earlier this year for an embryo sale. Had probably the most success we've ever had.
I can dance.
Hey guys, we're back here at Cattlemen's Congress, and right now we got the CCI rep Shane Van Zant with us. How were them sales this week?
Boy, they were good across the board. It didn't matter what breed you were in. I mean, them things were good. A lot of activity online, a lot of activity in the stands. I mean, you couldn't really ask for a better bunch of sales as a whole. They were good.
You bet.
Real good.
So in terms of CCI, what is it that separates CCI from the field in terms of sale management, video and bidding? What is it about that platform that is so popular among seed stock?
Basically, it's simple. It's simple to get on, simple to sign, simple to bid, low latency. We try to, naturally, internet will affect a lot of the outcomes on your speeds, but a lot of times, we try to have it where it's just almost like being there. That's the key to the whole deal.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt. I mean, if you've never been on a CCI sale, it is as if you are sitting there, Corey.
Yep. And it's super simple to get signed up for one of them sales and get on there and bid and know exactly where you're at. Absolutely.
And that's kind of the key to the whole deal, is keeping it simple and fast.
Right.
I mean, that's, it doesn't do any good to bid if you're 7 seconds behind auctioneer. It's so
yeah. And like in terms of maybe a breeder out there that's looking for something like that. I mean, you guys, just outside of the things we're talking about bidding and buying, there's a sale management part of CCI that kind of works along with it. Is that right?
Yeah. Like in all the sales we're doing here, we'll clerk the sales where, that it's simple. And that way people don't have to have a whole bunch of another team. They can just come in there and use our program. It integrates with the online and, clerk the whole deal, and everybody's happy. They can print their sale report when they're done and give it to their invoice to their buyers, and they can load up. And it's a simple deal.
Right. Gotcha.
It's real handy especially if you don't have a whole bunch of employees
to do all that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, we were bragging on Blaine Arthur's kids there earlier. Van Zandt team here, they had a good week here at the Cattlemen's Congress as well, didn't they?
Yeah, it was outstanding. Champion main Angus heifer and
both rings.
Yep. Open and junior, and it was a good week, real good week.
Really strong maternal genetics there.
Yep.
I mean, you talk about
the cow power.
Oh, cow! It has never been more present than right there.
No, we know better.
No, but I tell you, we can brag about her anytime, but I want to brag about her right now. We were at the Griswold sale a few weeks ago, and just right mid-sale, I look up there in the heat of the battle. Kennedy's up there running CCI for Dad. Dad got down for a coffee break or something, or nap, and she sat right up there and makes a hand. And what is she now, 15?
16.
16.
Yep.
16 years old. But I'm telling you, she never missed a beat. And I know she's had good training with you and Christy and the ability, and not just thrown in the fire on that. She knew what she was doing.
Oh, yeah.
But, hey, she handled it like a grown woman would. And so, good kid for sure. So
I'm pretty proud of her. She does good. Real good.
Right. Yep. That's good. So, hey, Fanny, thanks. I know you got to get to a Simmental sale.
Don't want to miss it.
No, don't want to miss it. Greg Burden, he get nervous if you're not up there ready to.
Yeah, he probably already is.
Jakey involved?
No.
Jakey's not. Well,
he's got to do a Facebook Live.
This thing. That's a Simmental sale. Probably be timely. You guys to get over before tomorrow. So, I figured he'd be hoarse by now, but he's not.
You can't kill that voice.
You can't. Wrap it up. Hurry up! I need my time. So hey, let's transition to our partner here tonight is Transova Genetics.
Yeah.
And we're going to transition to a promo video for Transova while we get Mr. Kent Jakey on. So
that'll be great.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
You bet. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
You bet.
Your legacy is not only where you came from, but more importantly, it's where you're headed. With our toolbox of reproductive technologies, exceptional team of professionals, and more than 40 years of experience, we continue to create future leaders. Whether it's advancing superior genetics or empowering the next generation of livestock producers, you can trust Transova to continue your legacy.
Some bases loaded stuff.
Hey, we are back again
Hey, he's
here
on
at the
Facebook
Cattlemen's
Live. Look
Congress.
at him. He can't even sit here with us.
We're back at the Cattlemen's Congress, and we have the one and only world famous Kent Jakey with us. And Kent has got all the information on the sales here at the Cattlemen's Congress.
Boys, don't give me a job if you don't want me to do it right.
Boy, I mean, tell you, that's one thing. They can say what they want, but when Jakey does the job, he gets it put together.
Well, guys, I'm going to tell you, thanks for asking me, but I mean, it has been, last year when everybody came here, everybody was a little nervous about, how's this going to be reacted to? And I think a lot of the success and the sales that we've had here, I think when you start talking about, cow numbers, 5 of the largest cow number states in the United States are Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska. They're all right here. So we've got a pretty good group of people that can come right in here when we don't have any gate receipts. People can come in here and enjoy. Cattle people come. But hey, just to give you an update on some of the sales we had, of course, we started off with embryos on snow on Friday night. And man, it was an awesome sale. We actually highlighted that whole sale that night, but with a 50%, got a pick from the donors at Tim Schaefer's. All the donors at Tim Schaefer's. That brought $135,000 for half interest in the pick of that cow.
I heard that.
And then the mother of that Bet on Red Bull that we purchased at a morning sale last year, that Angel female that was also the mother of that Sullivan heifer that won all them shows here a few years ago. She brings $120,000 for half interest in her the other night. And then a package of embryos brought $8,700 a piece.
Holy smokers, really?
Yeah, out of that Larissa cow. That Larissa, that limousine cow, heifer that was Supreme Champion Louisville that year. That brings $8,700 a piece out of a J6 Weed the People. Would have been high limmies. And another package brought $8,200 a piece, which were Red Angus embryos that came out of the Rosebud cattle for Zane Ward. And then Udell sell an IVF flush for $43,000.
I seen that on CCI, and I thought I was reading it.
No, on that Queen Ruth cow that they showed. She's a casino daughter. She brought $43,000. So, and then moving into.
But wait a minute. That was where was that at?
That was at the National Cowboy Hall of Fame Heritage
Center.
Center.
What was that setting like for somebody that was maybe not here or didn't go? What's that environment like that night?
That ballroom is huge. I mean, that thing is immaculate. It's got huge murals on all the corners. It's just a very electric environment that night. I mean, who's who in the business is there? Everybody. If you want to be seen or see everybody, you go to that. And it's just a wonderful evening and a lot of diverse genetics from all across the board. So it's really a great night and a great way to kick off the Congress.
The week.
And I also was involved with the National Key Sale. That was a big success. 19 live lots averaged 77.05.
Wow.
And the 5 genetic lots averaged 52.95. They had a top of 28,000. One Gardner and Klingman sold a bull, a Huda Man's son, out of a maternal maid daughter named Lucy for 28,000. And then Holt Cattle Company sold half interest in that really good
their show heifer that ended up winning the Key Angus show last night there in that ring.
She won the Key Angus show. She was champion female in Louisville. She brings $21,000 for half interest in her. So really good. And then of course we went into the National Main Sale, which we all are have
the bright lights. That's exactly right.
And hey, congratulations for having champion pin.
Oh, thank you.
That was good. That was a hell of a set of bulls.
Thank you.
But we had 66 lots of cattle in that deal, averaged 71.59.
Oh, it was high.
And the 50 bulls averaged 69.37, which I thought was strong. Of course, that was up another to almost $250 average from over last year. I had a top of 33,005 on the lot 62 bull from City View Farms there in Iowa for 2/3 interest on a Gar son out of a Fu Manchu daughter. And then lot 38 from Blonde Badger Ranch brought 29,000 on a data bank out of that good Morgan, that BBR Morgan daughter there. So high female in that sale, Rainey Yoakum.
Yeah.
Was
Pepper
the
wins the
champion.
junior
Pepper
show.
wins
right
junior
there.
show. She
Yep.
competes tomorrow night, right in this
Right
ring
in that
behind us
spring
tomorrow
drive. Yep.
night. She brings 60 large, 60 smokes, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? That's not the first time that one's had success. I mean,
Oh,
that
She
heifer's been
won
pretty
the junior
good.
show
Well,
in Kansas City.
She won
Tulsa. She
third.
started Tulsa.
She won
Did she
Tulsa.
win Tulsa?
She won Tulsa, won Kansas
Third.
City.
Third,
No,
third
third
overall.
overall.
She's champion Maine.
Champion Maine.
And
Yeah,
maybe
third
third
overall.
overall.
I think
Third
she was
overall.
Kansas
Yep.
And she won Kansas City.
Yep.
And then she won here. And
Yep.
so,
New era.
yes,
It's the new era, boy. It's the new era.
And what was she
Bringing
signed
them
by?
in.
She was
some
She
boy.
was a data
database.
bank.
Some boy. I don't know.
She was a data.
I don't know.
She was a data bank.
Hey,
Ask
we
Brent
need
Cole.
Brent Cole behind us. Yeah, we need
Brent
Cole.
Cole's going
Yeah.
data bank.
We had to get up off the floor so he couldn't get up here.
Hey.
Yeah.
And another one of them won the show.
Oh yeah.
Won the
Yeah.
high show open.
Right.
earlier.
And then another one
junior
was
show.
Reserve Bull that we sold in the main exchange sale. Then, Saturday night,
Yeah.
that Jägermeister bull from
Yeah.
Mears,
Yeah.
we sold him
He's
for
had a good week.
21,000.
Yeah.
He's had a good year now,
Yeah.
but he was reserve high main. He's another data bank son
Yeah.
too. So.
That's awesome.
But that main exchange sale grossed $340,000. And of course, that bull from Candace Muir, and we want to have our hearts go out to Candace Muir
Yeah,
and her
man.
quick recovery. But Brandon Bird from Texas bought that bull.
Bought that bull. Yep.
Yep. And then we sold a flush on BBR Mafia Queen for $13.5. The 186 embryos averaged $13.11 an egg.
That's
And the
awesome.
75 straws of semen averaged $578 a unit. That was
That's
pretty
great.
good that night. And then
That's
real
awesome.
quick, Western Elite, though, Dr. Dave, he had 121 head sale the other night, gathered up 825,450 for a 68.21 average. His 9 bulls averaged 17,583. The 51 cows averaged 6,050. And the 61 breds averaged 58.79. Now, that was a pretty good day right here in old
yeah.
Oklahoma City. And then, of course, all the sales have been really good this weekend. It's just been so fun to be involved at this time. I was talking, I've been saying this. I mean, I've been doing this for 40 years. I don't ever remember a time it's been this good. I mean, all across the board.
Exactly.
And so, yeah. So,
and we talk about these sales, and we talk about. I mean, you went through multiple breed sales.
Right.
There was more sales here too. They had Angus sales. They had
Yeah.
every Hereford averages just shy of 30,000.
yeah. Oh, I know. Matter of fact, the bases loaded sale averaged 28,851.
Yeah.
They did $1.5 million. I talked to Matt Sims about it. He said it was up $450,000 gross.
Wow.
Oh, up that much. So they sold 54 head and averaged 28,851.
Yeah. That's
so,
great.
Yeah.
And you what do you say? You talk a lot of these sales. What do you call that?
Commentary,
Your
sale commentary.
your pedigrees and things on
Yeah.
multiples of these. But your involvement outside of that, with Rocking K Productions
Yeah.
and with obviously the Griswold program, kind of a boots on the ground type situation here for Griswold during the week with the bulls.
Yeah.
Corey was 605.
Right.
What was the foot traffic like for you guys on that weekend of bull displays and what talk to me real quick about that? Both of you have
Well, they
unique
moved
perspective.
They moved that this
Yep.
year. They had it over in the Performance Arena over in Barn 8 last year, and it was pretty dirty.
Yep.
But it was more of a Denver feel because everybody was together.
It was smaller.
Yeah.
Everybody was more condensed.
Yeah.
This year they opened it up, put it in. I guess they call it the Super Barn.
Yeah.
Is that
Bull
right?
Barn 3. I don't
Barn
know what
3.
you're Yeah.
It was a lot bigger, a lot more opened up. Traffic was great. I just can't get over just the overall excitement in the industry, no matter who you talk to. They're wanting to flush cows, AI cows, come
Yeah,
show. They're wanting to, sales have been good. It's just an exciting time to be in the business.
And we had a great spot. I'm not going to lie to you. We had the cherry
Yeah.
spot in the barn. We were right on the main aisles. You're going into the barn, and we had
Yep.
that big old Angus bull standing there.
So it's
Anytime
great.
you've got a big bull, an age
It
bull
drew
standing there
them
that
in,
looked good,
yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, I had people from all walks of life coming in there, all segments, all breeds. I can't complain about it. We had great traffic and got to talk to people from Maryland to California. From Minnesota to Texas. We had a big, diverse group of people there, and hey, I'm gonna tell you now, guys, it was big time for me. People come in there yesterday and this morning. I mean, I delivered semen to people this morning from the weekend. People just
No
they went and got their
kidding.
tanks and stuff. And
Wow.
yeah, and I mean, it was, but that's not why you do it. That's not
Yeah.
why you do it. You do it to try to build that. I mean, for us, it's an image deal. I mean,
Yeah.
we got to bring, because
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
we got to have our genetics there, but just the people, the diversity of the people that were there and the numbers. And, and like you realize you don't got people from Oklahoma City coming in here. These are cattle people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody that walks up to you is a
Is here-
customer, and
is
they're
here
not
to
there.
look
They're
at
not there
cattle.
to eat a free lunch or
Yeah.
kick a tire.
Yep.
They're
Absolutely.
there. They're wanting to do business with you.
Yep.
So
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
and you, Corey. I mean, you put on your 605 hat,
Yep.
and you know, bull stud is that's probably the biggest
Yeah.
growing bull stud that on the market
by the
right
way,
now.
that bull I was telling you about, he's on his way.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what about 605? I mean, do you get foot traffic of guys
Yeah.
interested in using?
That's what I say. I mean, to me, just from what we're seeing and from a business standpoint, just the optimism and excitement in the industry is at an all-time high. I mean, absolutely. You know, people looking for great cattle and wanting to mass produce great cattle. You know, number of great bulls out there that are getting produced every day, and we get to see. We just feel honored to be part of them. But
Your biggest problem is you need another barn up there.
yeah.
Hey, they're
Yeah, we're
building
going
one,
to,
I heard. But how about this? The big news broke out this last
Yeah.
week with
Yeah, with
605. Just in terms, you talk
the
about it.
sexing. We signed an agreement with Sexing Technologies to this spring. We will have machines on site and be able to take fresh ejaculants in and be able to sex them in our laboratory. So we are pumped about that. We think it's going to be a big deal going forward. It's obviously, as Kent knows more than anybody, how popular sex semen is beginning to be in the industry with IVF and AI. We think it's going to be a huge asset for the customers, no doubt.
Oh yeah. Any time you can, come to one stop shop. I think you think of 605. They've been good to us here at the Cattle Drive and monthly supporters of us.
Yep.
But anytime, just like you guys, Kent Jakey can stop in, and if you want an Angus or a Simmental or a Maine, he's got it in his tank, and you can stop at 605 and you can get a bull collected and cow flushed.
Well, they're my partner.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at 605 sires as my partner. I mean, and when I'm out on the road, I rely on these guys a lot.
He stops in 10 times a spring, just reload tanks and stuff like that.
Right. Or I need semen sent from home. I have it when I'm in South Dakota, or Nebraska, or Iowa. I'm in Minnesota. They're close enough that it's worth it to send it there, because then I know it's going to a secure place. But more importantly, it's a marketing center for us too. We look at it that way. When we send bulls there, don't kid yourself. Those people are going to look at them bulls.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they do.
I never have to worry about them bulls there. We always get a good shake there.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Yeah, no doubt. And you visited about just people wanting to buy semen, people wanting to buy cattle that we just visited about. I think never more obvious to me is the camaraderie right now among breeds and breeders. There's so much crossover with Sim Angus, Maine Angus.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of
Hereford Angus.
We're getting some integration here from breeders.
Oh yeah.
But it's welcoming. I think I've never seen it like that.
I think people feel like they have to diversify. I mean, you don't want to just. I mean, if you're in the business, Gerald Buck, for instance, is in the business. He learned a few years ago you can't just rely on one breed anymore.
Right.
You've got customers you can capture those other breeds in there, and they're complementary.
Right.
I mean, in our specific deal, I mean, we blend the breeds, we blend semi-Angus and Maines together. That's what we do. But we also get guys that come in that want to buy an Angus bull, and they make replacement females. Well, then the next year they may come get a mate bull to go back on them, or a semi bull or whatever. And we've been, we've had 3 breeds in our deal, but there's so many other guys that are starting to do that. Yeah. And you have to do that. And like you said, it makes the crowds bigger because people have more interest.
Yep.
Right. And you eat the shows now.
Because of the crossover.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Well, I got to tell you, I was excited. This whole Cattle Drive live here has excited me. But to see the build over this week and the stuff that we've got to shoot, and Paige has loaded some interviews with guys these sales,
Yeah.
the anticipation for tonight far exceeded.
Oh, man.
Right. And the
You
deal
know.
tomorrow night.
Oh, man. That's going to be.
This thing tomorrow night's going to be.
It's going to be.
I
rocking.
hate it. I got to get in a car and drive to Denver tomorrow, but I want to be here. But I'm telling you, man, that tomorrow night will be absolutely the most exciting. It'll be the Super Bowl. Yeah. It'll be the national championship. They're going to play the national championship tonight. Our national championship's tomorrow night here.
I'm going to just tell you, those of you listening, all three of you probably, that are listening to us right now, I'm going to tell you something. The most electric thing you'll ever watch in your life is in this ring in March every year at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. And they lower those trophies out of that ceiling with the smoke and the lights and the limousine and the red carpet.
Yeah, it's something
and
else.
multiple market animals are fixing to be selected. And this thing's packed like it is for the Big House basketball tournament the week before. The only thing I've ever seen that matches that is tomorrow night's.
When you get all them big bulls lined up along those deals.
Boy.
It's fun.
Boy, someone like it in our business.
Yeah.
Someone like it in our business.
It is emotional. Like last year,
It is.
Well, I was out there, and with Maine Bull, and when you're standing out there, first year ever, first time there's ever been, I think in history that I know of, maybe they did in Chicago, or first time that I know of that in our lifetimes that there's ever been a Supreme Bull in the United States at a major livestock show. It just seemed historic. It was emotional. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I don't care how long, forever in my mind, that image.
That Jason Hoffman.
In the moment, throwing that hat.
Yeah, it'll take something pretty cool to beat that in my eyes. That's the neatest deals I've ever seen. And he said he didn't plan that. I think he's pulling her leg there, but
Jason planned it.
I know him good enough. And by God, he said, if he comes slaps this bull, I'm throwing it. I know where I know a woman that can make me a new one.
Yeah, give me a new one.
yeah, that's exactly right. He was pretty good at it. I was watching a video a little while ago. And that sucker landed. I mean, it couldn't have landed any square right in front of the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
he practiced.
I guarantee you, he was up there for throwing the hat.
Yeah, exactly. Could have been the wind. He was playing the wind in Thadford. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jake, I got to tell you, it's been nice to have you on. It's been nice to have you a part of the drive and the cattle drive, and we've got some really cool plans moving forward in the spring with you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
We're
fun.
excited about that. Yeah. Kind of where in the world is Kent
wait till we get this cartoon built, buddy.
It's going to be awesome.
Hey, guys, I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I'm not here to sell the G-Bar, but I get a chance to go all over the United States. And like I said, I want to show you the area of the country that I'm going to and the genetics I get to see. And because I get to see a lot of things. And I'm already excited about loading those tanks up and heading east because I'll be in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia in about less than 30 days.
Wow.
And so
that's great.
And so I'll be heading back there. So thanks for having me.
Good. Well, hey, we got another one popped up in here that's pretty important in our world, and a little quick note or a picture from our sponsors from Transova. Is that right? Okay.
We'll be right back.
Jake, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Thanks, Kent.
You bet.
Hey, here we are again, Corey, and it's so hard for me to look at her all grown
I
up.
know.
She was
I know.
a little bitty one, and she's
just
grown
started
up.
showing
And,
like
no,
3
you didn't
years
do none
ago.
of that.
Yeah.
You went this way. Yeah.
This little,
Yeah.
way.
Your dad went this way.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit like me.
Yeah.
And so, hey, no, it's a good fortune of us to get to visit with Whitney Walker, who is the director of livestock here at the Cattlemen's Congress and the Oklahoma Youth Expo, and runs Arkansas Youth Expo. I mean, just many hats.
She's got a lot of stuff going on.
Many talents.
In college every now and then.
It's sliding some of that in.
Yeah.
Hey, Whitney, tell us real quick, what is it like here at the Cattlemen's Congress from a director of livestock standpoint? What does your day look like?
My day, it's stressful. A lot of what we do throughout the day is show management is a lot of problem solving and a lot of human relations. And it's a lot more on that side, even as the director of livestock, than I thought it would be. Just trying to make the experience better for the exhibitors. That's our entire goal at the end of the day, is to make this the best experience that kids and open exhibitors can have at a livestock show. And I think that Cattlemen's Congress, through the move-in process, all of our interns that are out there trying to park trailers, get people in and out quick, and then once they get settled, stalling over 9,000 cattle, it's a lot when they come onto this fairgrounds. But that's our goal, was to try and make it easy on people and just let them have a good time. So that was one less thing they had to stress about while they were here.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Corey and I have had the good fortune to know and watch you grow up in junior livestock, and your involvement in multiple breeds, being on multiple boards growing up, and seeing your involvement. How has that helped you in your current role here at Cattlemen's Congress, Oklahoma Youth Expo? How has that experience for a younger kid that's maybe watching? What do you tell that kid? Do you tell them to get involved, or you tell them just sit on the tack box and wave at people as they go by?
Yeah. I would tell kids it's important. The whole reason we show cattle is because we love agriculture and we want to exhibit our cattle and work hard. But at the same time, some of the biggest lessons that I learned from the industry were leadership skills and human resources. Again, when I was younger, I would go to the Faces of Leadership conference with the Herefords. I would go to NYLC with the Maines when it was still there. I was young when those still happened, but they're bringing it back this year too. And then I was on the American Junior Maine Jew Association board, some Arkansas boards, and all of those different programs that I did throughout middle school, high school, and even into college, not only helped me get out of my shell and become more extroverted, it also gave me more networking opportunities and let me, and it just helped get me to where I am today.
Right. You bet. Yeah. Yeah, I just can't believe just sitting there. It's just almost surreal. Just your show career, I guess, is done.
Yeah.
Yep.
All done.
Yep.
And you helped kick it off. You helped kick it off.
Yeah.
You more
It
than
just
anybody
seems like,
have actually seen
yeah,
this transition.
Yeah, I've watched her grow up since the very beginning, and I was part of it. Used to live down there and be right by him. So, but yeah, seen her grow up since she was this little, and just really proud of what you've accomplished and what you've helped do with this show. I guess you work closely with Tyler.
Yep. Tyler, Bray, Cass, JD, Melissa, and Aaron, all of us together.
Kind of.
Yep, and then all of our interns and everything, and volunteers all come together to make it one big family that makes the shows run. So
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I got to tell. So yesterday, I'm bebopping back to the main show, and just out of the corner of my eyes, I don't even know how I caught it.
Yep.
What I thought was the maintenance crew picking up trash and cleaning stalls.
It was Whitney Walker. How about
Director of livestock. And I said, hey, what are you doing? And she said, I'm doing my job. There's another set of cattle moving in here that need to be just as welcome as the first set that showed up. And I'm picking up stalls. I'm picking up trash.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like,
That's awesome.
I thought you had people, but you are the people. And
our whole staff, no matter what time of day it is, where it is, what barn, who it is.
They're dedicated.
Yep, everybody pitches in and make sure that the barns are clean. And that
That's
was
great.
our whole thing. We wanted to make sure that everybody that moved in,
have the same level of respect and that we want them to be here. So.
I think that is just like none other. I mean, it's a staff like none other. And it's, hey, it's been our pleasure to have you on here. And so
Thank y'all for having
yesterday you had the chance during the show, I think, to catch up with Pepper Elmore.
Yep.
Who was, what was she selected?
She won the purebred Simmental heifer division, had the champion female there.
Right, right. And so we'll just segue right into that and get to listen to you interview Pepper.
Yeah, I was supposed to have her dad on there, Jason. He was in the video, and right when Paige started, I think he shinnied out of there.
Exactly.
But,
yeah. So
yep, let's take a listen.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're back here at Oklahoma City at the Cattlemen's Congress, and we got the exhibitor of the champion purebred Simmental heifer, Pepper Elmore. How you doing today, Pepper?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. That was a hell of a show out there. Great job. Tell us a little bit, what was it like out there in the ring today?
Very nerve-wracking. I've always dreamed of winning a big show like this, and my dreams have finally came true, and I give all the glory to God.
You bet. How's your heifer bred, Pepper?
She's a copacetic. Greg Burden and XTB raised her.
Yep.
And here we are showing her at the Cattlemen's Congress.
You bet. We had her dad in here, and he shimmied off here someplace. Jason will always get out of a photo op, but hey, we appreciate you being with us today on the Cattle Drive Live, Pepper, and congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you very much.
Hey, so we have good fortune now. We're back to have JD Roseman with us. JD, thank you.
Well, thank you guys for having us.
You bet. Vice President of Communications for the Cattlemen Congress?
Yes, sir. Yep, that and OYE. So.
And OYE.
Yes,
there you go. I told Corey, I said, listen, thank you, number one. We've been in a little bit of contact getting this thing put together here with you. And I'm telling you, I told Corey, I said, if you're not on TikTok, you're missing out. This guy's TikTok game is on point.
Well, I can't even take credit for that. That's one of my interns, Kelsey. She's incredible. We at the beginning of this week, we kind of looked at each other and we said, we kind of need a TikTok. Yeah, it was time. And shoot, she's got one that we just hit 200,000 views on it, and we're still climbing. So that's
wow.
It's kind of a game.
It's incredible. And but I mean, just their social media interaction. Yeah. You guys don't miss a thing. I mean, it's either been the show ring, the display bowls, the kids playing outside.
Our biggest thing is we try and change everything up. We don't want to try and do the same thing twice. We want to keep everything fresh. Yep. We try to. Our biggest thing at OYE, we feature the kids. That's our big thing. We want to put them under the spotlight. Here, it's a little bit different. We're trying to make connections with cattle buyers. We're trying to show results on sales. We're trying to show what's happening in the ring, and still feature those kids and those exhibitors and stuff. Yep. That's at the end of the day, they're our story, they're our face, they're the reason we're here. So why not showcase them, put them under a spotlight where they truly belong? So.
So in terms of communication here, you communicate through social media? Do you communicate? What is your day look like?
My day, I don't have 2 days that look the same. Between especially with Cattlemen's Congress, it's a different demographic than OYE per se. I mean, we're a little bit of an older demo, so we're trying to connect with daily emails. We're trying to connect with direct with the app with our exhibitors here. Social media is our biggest game. I mean, that's what we're really geared for. I mean, that's where people really want to see stuff. Facebook, Instagram's growing at an insane rate right now. Facebook is our #1 platform for sure, but it's just where people want to connect, and I think it's important that we hit all aspects of that. Some people want to an email in the morning. Other people want to just peruse Facebook for 3 hours. It's but you have to be at every point so they connect with you. So.
I'm telling you, it is. You guys have done a phenomenal job of the experience of Cattlemen's Congress. If you're not here and you're not following these guys' social media, and you just listed Facebook, Instagram, TikTok now.
Yes, sir.
Is that it?
Those are the 3 that we're on. We haven't ventured any farther yet on that, but we're growing and looking for another place every day.
I'm telling you, for those of you out there that are not following these guys, you're missing out. Because I'm telling you, it's like this whole adventure that me and Paige and Lacey have kind of been on here has brought my whole social media life kind of to live. Something like this is like, hey man, get your blood pumping. I mean, the music is perfect every time. And, hey, so who's in charge of the show ring music?
Show ring music, that's just a couple playlists we've put together over the years, and that's our team, Corey's audio and visual. They run all our screens, all the AV, all of that. They are phenomenal.
Were you here for the Junior Angus show the other night?
I think I was.
That show there, for some reason, they had that Chicago Bulls, that pump up music.
Exactly.
Andy Higgins judged that show, and he put the microphone down and they started playing that music. I'm telling you, I was ready to run through a wall. I mean, it was wild.
There's no doubt. Yeah, Louisville's got the organ.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Cattlemen's Congress has got the playlist.
I don't know that we're going to compete with an organ, but unless you go a really good organist somewhere.
No, you guys got it going on. I just think it's neat. But hey, I just wanted to take the time to say thanks for you. Were a really big part of us getting to be here tonight and tomorrow with the Supreme Drive. I just want to say thank you and appreciate what you do here. And appreciate your social media again.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate you guys being here. This is what it's about. We want to showcase and put new content out any way that we possibly can. And having you guys here is great. It's an opportunity to reach a bunch of people that Cattlemen's Congress hasn't reached yet. So,
well, thanks for having us, man.
Well, thank you, sir. I
appreciate it. So I think now, Corey, we're going to go to all night long. We've transitioned with Transova Genetics, and they've been an integral part. They bought the Cattle Drive Live advertising solely for this show. And I had a chance earlier today to sit down with Carrie Crow, who is the client service manager for the Southern region, and just get an insight on Transova and a little bit about them. And so here real quick, we've got 2 more visitors here with us, but we're going to transition and listen to mine and Carrie's interview here.
That's awesome.
Okay. Kerry Crow. He is the client service manager for the Southern region at Transova Genetics. Kerry, I'm glad that you're able to be here today.
Brett, yeah, I'm excited to be on here too. It's good to visit with you this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. When we talked about doing this Cattle Drive Live, the big feature, as we call it here at the Cattlemen's Congress, we reached out to a few people about possibly a sponsorship, and I visited with Sarah Faber, just very brief, and the first thing she said was absolutely, how do we get involved? And so I'll get the chance here to visit with you directly about Transova and the big machine that it is in terms of reproduction within the seed stock business. And Kerry, tell us a little bit about Transova and maybe how it got started, and from where it got started, what has it turned into today?
Yeah, it's so awesome. This company started with a handful of veterinarians in Northwest Iowa in 1980. So over 40 years ago, when reproduction in the female end of the cattle business just started. And from that original set of veterinarians and employees, it's just continued to grow and expand to what we are today. Even from a standpoint of in vitro fertilization, I can remember stories being told in the mid-90s when a lot of folks maybe in the company wanted to give up on in vitro, and the vision of, like Sarah's dad, Dr. Faber, was just, hey, I think there's a place for this in the industry. Let's stay hooked. Let's continue to do some more research and development and get this IVF system to a place where it is something that everybody can use and it's a valuable technology. And so, yeah, it's been exciting. I've been with the company for 13 years now to watch where it's come from. When I started, we were doing a little bit of IVF work, and it's gone from, I think we were about 5,000 IVF procedures in our company 13 years ago, and now I think in 21 it'd be over 50,000 IVF aspirations and over 300,000 embryos created in 1 year through the Transova system.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk about that real quick. You hit on the start in 1980. I would say early on in 1980, that had to have been some of the very first research of just conventional embryo transplant work. And moving and transitioning to today, where you talk about 50,000 aspirations and 300 embryos created now, what is the changeover in percentages? I mean, what percentage IVF are you today to conventional work where you started?
Mm. Yeah, obviously early on there wasn't any access to IVF in the 80s. And so as we crested into the 90s, when some of the research coming out of the land grant universities was finding its way back into the livestock business, and even up through the early 2000s, it was primarily still conventional IVF work. I think in the early 2000s, when we were able to access reverse sort technology and apply it in conjunction with IVF, is when we started seeing more cows shipped that way. But still in the early 2000s, it was a technology kind of preserved for those cows that just couldn't get it done in traditional embryo transfer. In 2010 and kind of after that, the technology was advanced enough, the embryo production was getting good enough per procedure, the pregnancy rates were getting comparable. Even when we started being able to freeze embryos and being able to thaw those and get respectable pregnancy rates, is when the transition started shifting. And right now, I'd say we're running about 98% of the procedures we do are going to be IVF procedures compared to conventional ET in the Transova system.
Right. And as a seed stock producer myself, and having worked with Transova currently and in the past, both conventional and now swinging into probably, like you said, 98 or more percent of our personal cows are worked in vitro. It's so nice because it's quick turnaround. We're talking about, for us, it's a game changer because you can take a cow 3 weeks postpartum and you can work that cow up to, what is 105 days pregnant every 2 weeks, and with the use of sex semen and reverse sorting and things, we're able to utilize a set of cows a lot more efficient today with IVF. But you know that, and I know that. But for somebody that's sitting on the fence today, and we talk about multiple companies getting access to this technology today, Kerry, what is it that sets Transova apart and allows you guys to be the big machine that you are?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a number of different things. We do have a pretty extensive client service staff. I am on the client service department. We kind of work as consultants back and forth with you guys. As you know, Brett, you've got to work with several of us. I've been your client service rep at some points, and just troubleshooting what's going on from a pregnancy rate standpoint, if you've got issues, or embryo production standpoint. And so that's a big piece of it, that we do provide that personal touch to our interactions and try to hire extremely skilled folks in those roles. I think some of the difference too is we're not practicing anymore. I mean, we have been doing in vitro since the mid 90s here, and have a highly skilled system. Not all in vitro systems are created equally. We all may have started at the same starting point, but every company's kind of forged their own path based on what they've figured out internally in terms of what makes embryos higher quality, what makes pregnancy rates move. And, we spend quite a bit of money each year kind of evaluating that system. We have a really good business culture as well, to try to enhance the experience for our clients. And just thinking through some of our core values, one of those is excellence. And excellence to us means that we are doing the best we can today with a pursuit to be better tomorrow. So we, without any, I think, doubt, feel like internally at the level we're at today, we plan on being even better tomorrow or the next
Absolutely.
year.
Right.
Continue raising the bar in terms of what our clients can expect from us. And so that's
Right.
a few pieces with it. Fortunately, with the number of procedures we get to do today, kind of validates that we've done a good job for clients, and that's why they continue to come to us to do that, and we appreciate that.
Right. I know at one time, Felipe, that does my work here in Oklahoma, we visited Shooteside one time about, as I keep calling it, the big machine, because it's more than just IVF there. You guys are into the cloning and the preservation of genetics and the growth of, I know there's a lot of dairy work that you guys do. It's just so big in terms of reproduction and sustaining that and using technology. But I know at one time, and I hope I'm still right, at one time, Transova produced more than 50% of all embryos in the country. You guys there produced that. At one time, you guys were the largest producer of embryos.
Yeah, I think I would think we'd be somewhere in that ballpark. Every year, companies have to turn in to the American Embryo Transfer Association kind of the number of embryos that flow to the system. And so I don't know what the current stats would be, but yeah, it is kind of nice to feel like our team in its entirety has had our hands on a lot of the genetic change we've seen happen here in the United States, both in the dairy and the beef industries.
Yep, absolutely. And like I said, here we are at the Cattlemen's Congress. A guy just always wonders, and we would never know just how many of these champions here were produced at Transova. That would always be really cool to walk around and ask, and I know from y'all's, from you guys, y'all would probably be the same way. But Carrie, I got to tell you, I mean, from speaking as a customer, you guys have always been good to us to troubleshoot. And I've told you before, you never get the call of the great preg check, but we're never short on maybe telling you, hey, that didn't work out. But from a personal standpoint, you guys are there for us, and I appreciate that. And in terms of the cattle drive, I appreciate you guys stepping in here and being the lead advertiser here for tonight's episode. So thank you.
Thank you, Brett. We sure appreciate everything that you're doing.
Absolutely. Carrie, it's been my So coming back to you here at the Cattlemen's Congress, we get to sit here real quick and visit with Miss Erin Dorsey. She is the show consultant here at the Cattlemen's Congress, but not just the Cattlemen's Congress. You pop up just about everywhere there's a livestock show. You've got your little finger in it somewhere. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I do quite a few shows around the country throughout the year. My involvement here is basically just to help mentor some of the people as far as putting on a breeding cattle show and just help in other aspects of it. I kind of oversee all the pin shows. And then this year I took on the international program where we're trying to really promote the international program and bring international people in and let them know that our show is more than just a haired cattle show, that we also have eared cattle. And there's a lot of things to do around the state of Oklahoma and a lot of places to go visit, a lot of genetics that are going to be sold and bought and sold and bought and sold and bought here. So it's been kind of fun.
And your Snapchat this year has just been wild. Just the places you've been and seen and experience you've had. Tell us a little bit about where you've been and what you've been through.
I went to Bogota, Colombia with USLGE, which is the United States League of Genetic Exports, along with the Oklahoma Department of Ag, which helped sponsor that trip. And it was a lot of fun. We got to go down there and see, just what's done in other countries and how cattle are shown and how they're taken care of. But not only that, we got to promote our show. We got to promote Oklahoma Genetics and try to bring some of those people from Colombia and South America, Canada, Mexico, and Argentina back to Oklahoma to help, buy genetics from our Oklahoma and all of our breeders from across the United States that come here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even like through your social media channels that we got to follow, it was really pretty cool to see, like, when those guys went to the show, Corey, it was like carrots and potatoes and fresh green grass clippings. And I mean, there was no ADM bags laying around or a Martindale bag or Umbarger. I mean, these cats here now, they got right in the garden and went and found something to feed their bull.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I Snapchatted a couple times of the Sullivan products, what few Sullivan products I saw. And there was a group of custom fitters that were there that had, just like here in the U.S., you got to have one person on every leg, somebody doing tail heads.
Oh, there was.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, they were clipping a Flick V heifer for the heifer show. So it was really interesting just to see the comparisons of how we do stuff in the U.S. compared to how they do stuff in South America.
Yeah.
So,
It's a bucket list deal for me. I want to go down there so bad to watch any of those shows in South America. But speaking of social media, 2 years ago, Blaine Arthur, who we had on earlier, Secretary of Ag, went, and her husband went along with her. And if there's anybody that can drive a set of clippers around a calf, it's her husband.
Yep.
And it didn't take him very long. He was down there on business trip. There was a Snapchat of him trimming one up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were in Argentina at the Palermo show.
At Palermo, that's right. Yeah, they heard Lucky Strike was in town, and somebody found him a set of shears. So.
Yeah, so the fun thing about Bogota is what people don't realize. We went to go visit some of the countryside ranches and everything, but it rains there every day of the year. And the temperatures run about 50 to 70 degrees throughout the whole year. So, I mean, it was lush grass clear to your knees. And the countryside was absolutely beautiful. And, I mean, just to experience it, I mean, just the beauty of the country. And you think of Bogota, Colombia, and a lot of people think of other things, but it's so much more than that. It was just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, hey, thanks for being on with us, Cattle Drive Live this evening. Thanks for what you do for agriculture and helping orchestrate and behind the scenes, I know. But thank you.
90% of any show with an animal with 4 legs in the country.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. And, to me, when I got into this business, I started getting into this business because it was all about the kids. It's all about promoting agriculture and keeping our youth excited about wanting to stay in agriculture. Right. So that's why I still do it. So
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for being on, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you guys for what you do. Appreciate
Absolutely. Yep. So we'll got 2 more.
Your legacy is not only where you came from, but more importantly, it's where you're headed. With our toolbox of reproductive technologies, exceptional team of professionals, and more than 40 years of experience, we continue to create future leaders. Whether it's advancing superior genetics or empowering the next generation of livestock producers, you can trust Transova to continue your legacy.
Corey, 65 or 70 days ago, when this whole Cattle Drive Live deal gained some feet, I was headed to Kansas City. And Paige and I had been working, and you and all of us been trying to figure out how we were going to do this. And all of a sudden, we figured it out. And I needed something in a hurry. I need a logo. We didn't even know for long what we were going to call it. And what we tried 2 or 3 different times didn't work.
Yep.
Then when we figured it out, I needed a logo. And I'll tell you, this one that we got slid in here right now is Ashton Bowles. She's the owner and operator of Bowles Marketing Company. I called Ashton. She's been known her whole life. Her and my cousin are like little sister Bailey. We're like sisters growing up. And so when we started this gig, I wanted to go to somebody and use somebody that was looking to hustle and get a name. And there was nobody any more prevalent to me than Ashton. And I said, hey, this is what we need. And she said, when? And I said, yesterday. Didn't I? Yeah. And I got it yesterday. She gave us some little stuff, and I forwarded it to you guys, and she was so easy to work with. And then, but I wanted to just say thank you, get you in front of the camera, say thank you for what you've done to get our 2 companies fired up. You were the thought behind Drive Marketing logo and the Cattle Drive Live logo and the colors. And so tell us about Bowles Marketing Company. What is it? What is it you do each day? What do you hang your hat on?
Yeah, that's a very loaded question there. Every day looks different for us. We are a full service marketing company. I specialize in graphic design as well as we're in the print industry as well. So I do embroidery, screen printing, any kind of printed materials, banners, signs, all of the above.
Stall cards.
Yes.
Last second.
Yeah. Anything you need printed, I can probably get it printed for you.
That's awesome.
But we're kind of specializing in the screen printing and embroidery industry right now.
Okay.
That's kind of been what's been keeping us busy on the day to day. So.
Gotcha. And you're here to with your family.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about this endeavor that we've seen walking through the barn at your booth. It's not just Bowles Marketing Company, it's gear orders?
Yep. So we have combined Bowles Marketing Company with our parent company or another company that we've added here, gearorders.com. So it basically just feeds off of what we're doing with the screen printing and embroidery. It's a fulfillment service online store where you can sell your gear to your customers directly. It gives you the opportunity to be able to pick out your designs that you want. You basically send us your logo or we help you with a design. We have in-house design services also. So you don't have to worry about that. If you don't have a logo design, we can do that for you. We help you pick out your gear and then we get it all set up on a store for you. You share that link with your customers. They purchase directly through the store and then we handle all the fulfillment and shipping. So
wow.
It's kind of a good service for people to use if they don't know exactly what sizes they need to order or what apparel they think that their customers are going to want. Then you don't have boxes sitting around for 2 years of extra large hoodies or a t-shirt that nobody just fell in love with and wanted to wear. So it kind of helps with that. And then we can send that directly to your customers and you don't ever have to touch it. You don't have to worry about passing anything out or all that stuff. So.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's good stuff there, 605. Boy, you ready to just call her up? And no, but it is. That's what the whole deal is with Cattle Drive. And I always give him a hard time, like the stuff like put him on the spot.
Yeah,
but
I was just going to say, do you ever think, a Cattle Drive will ever be big enough that we'll be able to sell a hat?
Hey, I don't know. We got a box of them here with us. But I'd tell everybody they come around here. They come like dead men, just want to a box. Yeah. But hey, Ashton, thank you for what you did getting us started. I know it was last minute, but you expected that with me.
Fun project for
sure.
It
was awesome. We're going to do some more stuff together, social media wise, and cross market some things for her. But thanks, and just wanted to let people know what's out there.
And if you're at Cattlemen's Congress, come by and see us.
Hey, and I heard of a couple guys I talked to said they got some last minute banners from you.
Yep, I had a couple of banner orders come in this week as well as some stall cards. So we're printing stall cards same day here at Cattlemen's Congress. And on banners, we can do a 48-hour turnaround time. So
next year, you want to order some stuff up, pick it up here at the show. Just keep that in mind.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, do you still hang around with that red-headed goat guy?
Every once in a while.
Well, every once in a while? Yeah. Yeah. No, hey, great guy. And he's going to start to maybe do some stuff with us as well through the drive marketing. I'm excited. He's got a footprint in the goat world like no other.
Sure,
so yeah, I think I heard word on the street is he kind of tunes old Glenn Martin up when he needs it. So.
I think that's
I
how
bet
it goes.
not.
Yeah.
Well, I'd hate to think I was ever going to tune up Glenn Martin. So, but no. Hey, but thanks for being on. Thanks for what you did to get us off the ground, and appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Little word from Trans over here, and one more crew for the night, but it's a pretty important crew when you come to a livestock show. So
good.
Your legacy is not only where you came from, but more importantly, it's where you're headed. With our toolbox of reproductive technologies, exceptional team of professionals, and more than 40 years of experience, we continue to create future leaders. Whether it's advancing superior genetics or empowering the next generation of livestock producers, you can trust Transova to continue your legacy.
So here we are wrapping up the show, Corey. Cattle Drive Live, first ever live show we've shot. We interacted with people at the show, and you know, it's just how things worked out. We told some guys to come by and visit with us, and I did not want to not include Megan with Next Level Images. It's incredible.
The unsung heroes of any stock show is the photographer.
Oh, I'm telling you. And, you know, no better way to wrap it up than wrap it up with the photographer, because at the end of the day, that's where you want to be, is at the backdrop. But, hey, Megan, tell us something. You've taken imaging to the next level, not to play on what it is. What is it about taking show photos, not just the backdrop? You brought your team in here, which is cool, and tell us who they are. It's great. But
well, we have an amazing team here, and it takes all of us. Obviously, we're in the ring, we're at the backdrop, we're all around the grounds doing this stuff, and we have different backgrounds, different minds, different visions for what we like for a photo. But together, we've got Michelle Helm back here, we've got Ashlyn O'Brien, Joellen Rathman, Emma Matthews, Megan Anderson. And I've got some other ones that aren't here that have already headed home or transitioned out or taken a little rest this afternoon, because it's been a very busy week and we've got some more stuff to do. So everybody's got their own specialty. Most of us have a pretty strong ag background. A lot of us are cattle people, and we really love all of this. And I think that's that passion that makes us, you know, able to go through these long days and love everything that we do and enjoy every minute of interacting with people and the cattle and the events.
yeah, I can tell you that, you know, when you're ringside, Corey, when we were younger and showing, you depended on Grandma to be there with that Polaroid, you know, and you'd come out of the ring, boy, she was already over there getting her to dry off. But, you know, today, in this last year, with my wife not being able to be at shows with what we've been through, it was like she was there, because after the show, as long as you guys were there, it was as if you were at the show.
And the candid shots.
Gosh, the ring shots, the candid shot. You guys will be laid over here in the dirt and on the ground. And
They walk a lot of miles every day, and they really care. We've all grown up showing, and we know some of us are parents. I've got 2 kids, and they've started. My little girl has started a little bit, and actually the first show she did that I wasn't the photographer, Emma was the photographer, and I think she had like 30-some candids of her when I was done. So I know how much that meant to me, that I didn't have to worry about that part of things. I could just trust that she had it covered. And so we each think about that and make sure that we'd cover it like we would if it was our own people out there.
I'll tell you what, if I ever come back in the second life, I want to be somehow connected to you, because she has the biggest amount of patience of anybody I've ever met. And I need to be around people like that. Paige and you will both tell you, you got to have patience to be around this cat. So
yeah, people say that every day, and I don't know where it comes from, but it's just every single one is different, and every single one matters. Y'all put so much effort into breeding them, feeding them, rinsing them every day, and getting them to that point. So that's their moment that will forever be your memory, and we care very much about getting that right.
That you do, and it's frustrating at times. You've got people, you've got business partners, and you want that image, but at the other end, you know, that thing takes a step, or a heifer peas right at the wrong moment, and you just say, just take another circle.
To say that's close enough.
One more time. Exactly. I think the number one phrase I say is one more time, and we go again.
That's good. Hey, so out of this conversation, for those that have pictures, or maybe they don't know where to go to find this image or a past show, where do they go?
We have everything online. Our website is www.nextlevelimage.com, and everything we've taken is on there. It stays there forever. So if you've missed one that's been in a past year even, you can go on there and find those. We've got the ring shots, we've got the backdrops, we've got the around the ground stuff. So there's a lot of content to sort through on there. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, you do such a great job. You've got such a lovely team, and y'all, it's just been a pleasure. And it was just by accident, Corey, we wrapped up today with Next Level Imaging, but I almost think it's fitting and God sent just a little bit, because that's everybody's hope here is to end up at the backdrop.
To see them at the backdrop.
Well, hey, thank you all, Corey. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a blast. Been a whirlwind. A lot of great people.
Thank you guys.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tune in. I think we're going to get some stuff done here. I don't know. It'll be Cattle Drive Live.
Yep.
We may work along with the liveauctions.tv.
Hopefully get it tagged into
somehow Cattle Congress. We're going to all collaborate. Me and you are going to maybe sit and visit with liveauctions.tv, and we'll commentate those Supreme drives tomorrow night. Exactly. So hey, thanks. It's been fun.
Sounds great.